Guys, welcome back to game number 11. Right now, we are very, very close to getting that perfect score. And yeah, I mean, let's see if we can keep it up. So far, we've had a very nice series, a little close calls here and there, but a lot of decisive victories as well. In this mulligan, I would just keep the Glaive Zuka. The Illuminator, it's kind of a card we'd rather not draw. And we do hit the Worgen. Very, very nice. So now we get to play the Worgen on turn one. Honestly, with our deck, probably only the Argent Squire would have been better than the Worgen draw. So our opponent does have Zombie Chow, which does slow us down a lot, but just imagine if we didn't have the Worgen, we'd be in a lot more trouble. Excuse me, guys. So here, to me, it seems very good to just use the Glaive Zuka and trade. You might say, hey, Shady, like, you did a lot of face damage earlier, like, get those small hedges in, what gives? Why are we trading now? It's a priest. Shrinkmeister destroys us, Coin Valence destroys us, Powered Shield destroys us. Versus a priest, generally, you're going to want to control the board as long as you can. Okay, so here, this is a really interesting turn, guys. I want to pause here for a second. So what we are going to do seems really bad, but it's actually fairly creative and it has very good reasoning. So we're going to play Ogre Brute and we're going to use our weapon onto his Ogre. And you might say, like, what the fuck? But why? They trade. Why would you do that? Alright, there's two reasons. First of all, his Ogre might miss, in which case our face can kill his Ogre. Now, he might give us a reply, but Shady, he'll just heal. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, but if he heals, he can develop a 3-drop. So look at it like this. If our opponent were to heal his Ogre on turn 3, tempo-wise, that is the exact same thing as your Glaive Zuka one-shotting a Spider Tank. I'm gonna say that again so that you get it in your mind for, like, from a tempo point of view. If because of this Glaive hit, he cannot develop a turn 3 play, you've just one-shotted a Spider Tank with half your Glaive in terms of tempo, right? And then there's the other reason, in case he doesn't miss, Powered Shield would have been very annoying, and then once again, if he Powered Shields, you also force him to heal so he can't drop a 2-drop behind it. So those are the two main arguments. And also Shrinkmeister, if he shrinks our guy, he'll still deal 2 damage, which will finish off his guy, and then allows us to use our Glaive into the Shrinkmeister later on. So there is a lot of upside to making this move. Now, granted, it is fairly optimistic, but in this game you need to take decent bets, I feel. And this was fine. It was 50-50 chance of just putting him in a very awkward spot, and looks like we've forced him to heal on turn 3. And he does develop a Dragon Egg, which, it's not completely useless, but yeah, obviously way, way worse than, say, a Dark Cultist or a Spider Tank. Sorry, guys. This turn, it's a bit awkward. I think we just play off curve here. It's probably just going to try to trade Ogres and then put Cobra down. Cobra activates the Ram Wrangler for turn 5. Alternatively, you could use your Ogre into the egg, use your face into the dragon, play Amani Berserker, and then Glaive Zuka. It doesn't allow for, like, the Ram Wrangler on curve, so it makes more sense in this particular game that we just trade the Ogres and put down the Cobra. So it's a point Epiphany made at the time, and I agreed with it. It didn't feel right, but it was fine. Our Ogre listens, so good boy. Good job, Ogre. It's always nice when your Ogre can comply. Alright, Jungle Panther. Nothing much, no 4-drop. Alright, Ram Wrangler. Let's get a King Crush, baby. Close. I mean, it's kind of a shitty Silverhand Knight in this case, but we've seen him summon Malorn, we've seen him summon Maxna, so we can't really complain. It's just one of those cards that sometimes will sometimes let you down and sometimes will just hype you up. Okay, so here we trade into the egg, face the kill of the little guy, simply because Valence Chosen on that egg is really, really annoying. Like, Valence Chosen on the Dragon Egg just keeps spawning more dudes. It's very annoying. So looks like he's going to trade his Jungle Panther into our Cobra. That's fine, no problem with that. Second Chow, so double Chow in his deck. Very nice for him. Okay, so let's see. There's obviously the option to play our second Ram Wrangler now that our Beast is still alive. But Glaive Zuka allows us to trade really nicely. If we put the Owl into the Heckler and we then play Glaive Zuka, this guy gets the buff. We can use our face into the Heckler. I mean, you don't have to Glaive right after you trade in the Owl, but you do have to trade in the Owl first. You could trade in the Owl and then play Amani, see if the buff hits the Amani if you want it there. Yeah, it's fine. But it all starts with just sacking in the Owl to make sure that the Glaive buff doesn't go to waste. And I suppose, yeah, you just develop on curve here. So Owl goes into the Heckler, you play Amani, you Glaive, you trade in your guy, and then you play the Flame Juggler for tempo. Yep. Not the most insane turn, and you do get rid of your Beast, which could have helped. Which could have helped activate the Ram Wrangler. But it's very important that when you are making these decisions that you don't get carried away by potential value. You just make the best play, and don't let that Ram Wrangler rule your turn. Don't be like, oh, I have to play the Ram Wrangler now because otherwise I won't have a Beast activated. Opponent heals himself. That's good. That means he's only developed for 3 mana on turn 6. I mean, we're starting to run out of steam here, so even though it'd be nice to get the Ram Wrangler up, it seems better just to develop him now in hero power. If we don't develop him, we might just be a little bit short on damage, because the Priest didn't do anything for his turn 6, other than develop Silent Knight, so you can assume that he will have big minions in his hand. If he had smaller minions, he would have played 2 smaller minions, I feel. So Abusive Sergeant, he kept the utility card as a Holy Champion. Alright, so not necessarily the biggest of minions, but he kept the Holy Champion until he could combo it here. So, alright, cool. Let's have a look at this board, shall we? Couple plays that we could make. We could use our face into the 2-2, our 2-3 into the 2-1, develop the Fairy Dragon hero power and go face. We could use our face and the 3-1 into the Holy Champion, 3-3 into the 2-2, the 2-3 into the 2-1. But that's completely clears, but it only connects face for 5 with your hero power and your 3-3. So what I like here is just face into the 2-2, 2-3 into the 2-1, and just go face with everything, I think. I think that's the play that we made here. It leaves the Holy Champion up, sure, but we're still at 20, and I don't want to... I basically want to let him play the game of like, it's kind of like whack-a-mole, right? A lot of small guys popping up on the other side, and he has one big guy. So now he has the Holy Champion, and the Holy Champion can only take out 1 minion per turn, and he will not win the damage race if he goes face, because we just have lethal if he goes face. So if he kills a small minion, we're good. We can just keep pressuring him. If he goes face, then we obviously just have lethal. So it's kind of a win-win scenario. I did choose to go face. I mean, you can say that that's 100% terrible. There's merit to going face because he sets up lethal and we have to trade into him. But obviously, it's very cocky to say that a hunter doesn't have at least 1 damage in his hand, because that's all we were short, 1 damage here. And we closed out the game because he the dwarves appear in the top left corner. Because guys, as you know, on my channel, when we reach 11 wins, it's Shady Diggy time. We spam the Shady Diggies in the chat, and yeah, we start digging for 12 wins. So guys, once again, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you guys tuning in every day, and yeah, I will see you tomorrow for the final game of the Hunter analysis. After that, I will just analyze a new class. So we'll just keep doing this, guys. Don't worry about it, and I'll see you all tomorrow.